Expecting more people here today, but there's not. But we'll go ahead with it because the first item on the agenda is we're going to discuss a problem that's been a problem in Spring Hill for many years. The flooding issues on Main Street. And I've been asked by David Smith and other people to put it on the agenda. So I did on the workshop agenda. And it now, it becomes y'all's job to decide how to go forward with it after I tell you a bunch of details about it. But what we're talking about is the back side of the west side of Main Street, first two blocks, from B&S Supply down to NC Street. That's right before you get to the old Citizens Bank, that street right there. But it's talking about the flooding problem that and we've had these gosh awful rains here recently that, just about anything will flood, but this is a problem, and I feel sorry for them because I know I bought a house one time on Harrington Drive and knew when I bought it that the house flooded, but I bought it anyway because I wanted it. It was a good price. It was a real good price, so I bought it and had a swimming pool. Every time it rained really hard, it flooded. I mean flooded, the basement flooded. And every time it rained hard, I knew I was fixing to have to bail out the water. But I didn't think about coming to the city, but I knew when I bought it, it was my problem, But anyway, I do feel sorry for these people because I know how terrible it is when you get all ruined and everything. It's terrible. But I can tell you, and because of that, I've tried to work hard to figure something out to help these people, to bring to y'all, see if y'all want to help these people. But so far, several months ago, I met, after one of those big rains, I met Grayson Butcher about his building that he bought from in Emmanuel, the old Shirtless building. And I met with David Smith about his buildings. He has one on the corner there where the nail place is, and an engineer. I met those people. And the engineer said at the time, if we did a swell, kind of dug a swell on the other side of the walking trail, that might catch a lot of the water. But he was going to work on that, but he never got us anything to present to y'all. But in the meantime, Grayson Butcher had said he got some people from Shreveport to come look at it. And he told me, he said, it looks like it's going to be an easy fix. I thought, well, I'm glad somebody can figure out something. But several weeks passed because Grayson was tied up with an election. He was in an election up there. So, but I called him after the election and I said, well, what did your engineers find out? He said that they looked at it and we could look at the report if we paid him $5,000 because that's what the engineer charged him. So I said, oh, okay. So I said, well, I'd have to have the council approval to pay you $5,000. So I then went and got another engineer who is working up a proposal with the cost to bring to y'all to see if y'all want to go into doing something to fix the problem. I can't find anybody that knows the answer, but maybe they will. But I will bring that to y'all when I get it, and it'll be up to y'all to decide what you want to do. But as far as the flooding down there, to make sure, one thing one of the engineers said is make sure your drainage is clear. Make sure you're not the problem that's stopping up and flooding these people. So Mike got a contractor to come in and TV our lines, which we need to do from time to time anyway, to make sure we don't have any blockages or whatever. And it was determined that there was adequate drainage in those first two blocks with all the infrastructure we've got under buildings. And also, we replaced an existing culvert and installed a new catch basin, which had collapsed down at the corner of Giles and Incy, right by those apartments. And that the council approved that for $30,000. So we were trying to maintain our existing drainage and make sure it was working properly. Those are the things I have done. I've talked to Nelson Smith, our city attorney, at length about it, because I know this is headed toward probably some legal suits or whatever. And he's here today to discuss as far as the legal piece of this problem. Nelson.
Well, we were hoping that we were complaining their attorneys because they said they were going to be here. We're going to be here. We want to assure them that we want to work with them. We're not trying to be opposite and say we're not going to do this. If there's a way for us to do it, show us a way. My concern from the city of Spring Hill standpoint is we would be doing a public work for private citizens, for private businesses, and where do we end that? As Larry was talking about, he had a home that flooded basement. We're getting calls from people from that flooded basement. Hey, come fix the drainage around my house, so my basement will flood. So I think we have a legal and an ethical problem with the city doing works that benefit private citizens. If they can come up with a way so that the city does not face those problems, I think we're all for it. It's not that we don't want to do anything. We certainly want to encourage businesses downtown to come and be successful. But there is a real problem with the city doing things for private citizens, which is what this would be, that the city cannot do. It's not discretionary, the city cannot do. So that's my first concern, or my paramount concern, is if those people have been here, and they have attorneys who had suggestions or whatever, I certainly would say, hey, look at whatever they have to see if there's something we can do. We got to get past that hurdle so the city doesn't get in trouble legally and ethically, or some private businesses around citizens.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah, I see. Okay, and now I was going to let the landowners discuss, but they're not here. But there is one landowner here. Keith Stevens bought the old Sharps building, which was the worst flood problem we had down there. We worked for many, many years, and Mike's worked with Anthony Manuel, who owned it before. Oh gosh, the Ware Boy and everybody, and they was just bad because it was just shooting right in the building. But he bought the building, and it still had the flood problem. He knew it had the flood problem, but you might tell him what you did, how you handled it.
Spent some money, but now after I purchased the building, I was trying to figure out a way to stop the flooding, and ended up talking to, I cannot remember Tracy's last name, usually manages Sharps, Lowry, and she was willing to come up there, and Sharps had actually had an engineer come up there and look at that building. And she walked back here in the back room with me, and she said, they said you needed to put a sump pump here and one over there. So that's what I done. I put in 2 sump pumps, and y'all know what kind of rains we were having at that time. And before that, the entire floor would be flooded, covered in water. I'd walk out the front door and look at the nail salon, and they got squeegees just pushing water out their front doors. And we got that in there, and I think it was the following week we had a 6-inch rain in about 3 hours or 4 hours. And I ran to that building. I had one spot on the sidewall that had a puddle, not medium. That was the only water in the entire building. So I put in another sump pump. So I spent several $1,000s, but I've alleviated that problem. The only thing that I've asked, I've talked to Ray, I've talked to y'all about it, is that, behind the building, which is city land, there is some irrigation problems because that water does not have no place to go. And as far as I know, y'all contacted Dig to.
Yeah, we're gonna look at
get
it.
it.
Well, that's in our drainage ditch.
Right.
Somebody had put a sump pump in there.
Yeah, and it's
They
not
should-
ours. It's not mine.
Well, they should have put it in there,
Yeah,
but
it was there when I bought it, but it was on y'all's land, so I don't know.
I think Anthony just went ahead and did
Yeah.
it, you know, but we need to remove that.
Yeah, and, you know, those places in that ditch where you can look and the water's supposed to, never been told the water runs north, but there, the water's gotta run north. And, there's places where you can stand in that ditch and where it's gotta run to is higher than where it's coming from. So y'all told me y'all were gonna do that. Think about it. Y'all know this, the buildings on Main Street, go to any other city, try to find a building, square footage that building's got. You're not gonna spend the kind of money I spend, you're gonna spend a whole lot. So I took into account that I just spent some money to get the building up here where I could use it, where I don't use it. And, I don't know, my opinion, you gotta go at it at that approach. I mean, when you're spending a little bit of money per square foot, expect to have to put something back into it. So. But if y'all hold up y'all's end and y'all get the water going that direction and my building starts flooding again, it ain't y'all's fault. It's mine.
Yeah.
So,
As far as up the old railroad track, that hurt a lot, didn't it? Because didn't the railroad track stop a lot of that water from coming back this way?
That's what they talk about,
Yeah.
but I don't know, that would be an engineer.
Well, let me ask you something. The two big, well, they're not ponds anymore, they're trees. Wasn't that for drainage?
That is for drainage.
That's.
I don't see any water ever in those.
When we have a flood, they fill up and then it drains out.
That was here before I got here. I was told this was there before.
Yeah, it works.
I have a basement in my house, and I have a sump pump in it, and that solved a lot of problems. So,
You know, the house I had was right across from your house.
it's just part of what, live in an area where there's gonna be water, you gotta take that into account, it's not.
ain't this town is Spring Hill.
There's a bunch of them in here.
Well, what I'll be interested in, Ray, is hearing what the engineer comes back with. And of course, we need to take into account what Nelson said very strongly, because it can't.
You set a precedent.
Set a precedent, yeah. But I would like to see what he has to say, or at least if he gives us any.
Like, he's gonna give me a proposal where you can approve whether he goes forward or not, because I know it'll be over 5,000 from it. I'll bring it to y'all and y'all can decide if you want to do it.
And this is a different engineer than the one we used.
Yes, yes.
This is one that Wayne McMahon recommended.
Mayor, how long did you work at Regions?
How long did I work there? About 12 years.
How long that building for?
All those years.
About 12 years.
The entire 12 years.
We just sucked it up.
And then if you go to doing work on private property, which I think our legal counsel is telling you not to do, you could also have a complaint from a landowner that has spent money. Hey, are you going to give me money back because you spent money on these buildings? What are you going to do for me? I did what I was supposed to do.
Right.
I mean, we would be in big trouble. Yeah, big trouble. But I do think we need to clean that out, and then if you put your sump pumps on the outside, they'll
Oh,
go
they're
inside.
inside. I went down there and looked at them after that horrible rain we had. It was dry as it could be in there. And he had 2 sump pumps on the back and 1 on the side.
But what the chief referred to, I really hope y'all do spend a lot of money on
Yeah. You can sit and bring us the bill.
I think that's one we just wait till we know we can't do it legally. But I'd be interested to see it.
Well, and the engineer may come up with a solution on our property.
Right.
You know, something we can do on our property. But But that'll be up to y'all, really, if you want to do that or not. But anyway, Heath, I appreciate you talking to us. Concludes that one. Okay, the next item is discuss the land lease on the one and only beauty shop. This is Miss Stampley. She has a closed shop over there. And they're going to take one of those little buildings and take it to her house and leave the big one. And Denny McMullen has somebody that wants to rent it. Well, the land underneath that belongs to y'all. It belongs to the city. So she has paid those many years. She's paid $50 a month, $600 a year to lease that land, to put her business on. So now Denny has somebody that would like to do the same thing. Of course, I know you probably want to change the amount, or you may want to have it removed.
I think if we're making that area down there for entertainment, which is CAC building, pavilions, and that needs to disappear.
Splash pad, all that.
And this is an opportunity to make that happen. That building is real old anyway.
Yes, it is.
And it's probably not safe.
Probably can't be moved, or something. I don't know.
But that's my understanding.
To move the building probably costs more than the building work.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with y'all. But it's up to y'all. But I will bring that up Monday.
I do think it needs to go and us develop that area down there into a nice area for entertainment.
What do y'all think? What do you think? Because
I was trying to process. So if somebody want to rent that area, or they bringing in their own building?
no.
They was gonna use the one that's
Use
there
that
now.
one that's there. Yeah.
And
They
you're
pay Miss Stanley rent for the building, pay us
$60.
for the land.
$60.
But like when people use the RV building, they put up those bouncy houses. And,
Right.
Well, it'd be good if they could have that area.
That whole lot.
Yeah, right. So, but anyway, we'll bring that up Monday.
Who is it that they want? What business are they?
I don't know. I don't know who it was.
Well, it's set up for a beauty shop, so it's probably what it is.
Maybe they can come on Main Street. We got vacant buildings on Main Street.
No, she's not moving the beauty shop.
See the old building. I think they used to have a food supply.
So,
there place.
Is the person that was leasing the building, they own both of those little buildings? Two of them?
Yeah.
So they're responsible for getting them off the property, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because we have a lot of vacancies on Main Street on this end where it doesn't flood. Right next door to me.
Right. But we'll talk about that Monday. Next item is, I think, Shelley handed y'all out. This is what we discussed for a long time last night. This was the final result. And this is just your copy of it, so you can take it and study it this weekend.
If we get it to one point, we got to
Yeah.
one final.
Right. Which is what he said we had to say.
I think that's pretty much the same. But Ray, we're gonna come back, and my understanding is we're gonna come back and look at those, the nursing home, the hospital.
Right. It's just gonna take more time to look into that, but yes. Okay, the next item will be, we'll introduce an ordinance, it's just our ad valorem tax village that we have to do every year. Next item, discuss a proposal for national security and updating the security camera system at the city hall and adding 2 additional cameras. Probably gonna have to not bring that up on Monday night, because part of that also is part of number 7 down there, because we're going to, the dumpsters. Let me jump on down to 7 to talk about the dumpsters. The dumpsters are being abused. Something people are just, we can't keep up with the amount of. I mean, they have found all kinds of stuff in there. The contractors are using it to tear down houses. They're not being used for what they need. They're designed to be used for. So we feel like we need to fence them in and put a sign on it that it's not for public dump. and we're also gonna put cameras on them. But I was gonna get you quotes to tell you how much that would cost to do that. And, I've only got one quote for for fencing them in at $5,000 a bin, which would be $15,000. So we're gonna see if we can get another quote on that. And also, the Nash Security, they're gonna put the cameras up for $1,400. But I ain't got all my stuff together yet to bring it to y'all, so I'm gonna have to pass.
That's 1,400 is just for us.
That's for 2 cameras, the one at the RV park.
No, I think it's just the RV park itself, Mayor. If you look at the 2 quotes, because the 4845 is here at City Hall. We already have 2 cameras that are out, and I have a third one.
We've got to have an update.
Yeah, it's gotta be updated, the system does, but we got 2 cameras that's not functioning now, and the third one is blinking on and off. I think we have a total of 8 cameras here now, and we were gonna add one in the corner by the dumpster, so in order to add that one, you have to upgrade the system anyways, but now I've got cameras going out, so I think we still need to act on the camera system here. We need to update this one
Does
here.
that one on the back side of the CAC, does it work?
Yes.
Yeah,
It works?
Yeah.
So you can see that, does it?
Who
Now, we
watches?
can see the dumpster.
Who monitors?
I don't know if that's one of those, it's gonna be like the one at the
Well, it's
RV
back
park.
there by, on that wall,
There's the camera up there,
and it points toward the dumpster.
but it's not feeding into what I think.
I seen right here on the corner. I seen the camera. I don't know who watches.
It's probably like the one they're proposing for the RV, because they said on this proposal that this is for the RV building across from Carter Federal, and it comes with a 2-year warranty. It says internet will need to be at this location in order to view the cameras off-site
up here.
up here. And see, I don't see the CAC up here, I just see what's around this facility.
See, the council on aging
I'm not
bought
looking at that
those. We didn't buy
Oh,
them.
really?
Yeah,
They paid for those. And so the controls to them are in that.
the senior building.
Okay.
Their building.
But it faces.
Which they
the
don't,
dumpster.
believe me, they don't mind at all.
Camera?
They don't mind.
Yeah, but their system's inside their building.
Yes.
It's not up here.
Oh, no. You have to be on the internet. It is up here. But that should be fine.
I mean, but I think we need to put one back there too, where we can see.
But we have to get on the internet.
I mean, 'cause they dumped it back there
And
too.
their internet in the CAC.
I don't know.
Yeah, because they have it for the VA office.
Yeah, so we got it.
Okay.
That's no problem.
Well, then we can do that. We see it up here then.
They just gotta tag it into that router over there.
What about the one over here, are we, don't you have a dumpster up by the police station? Yeah, there is.
You got a dump?
Well, give me
Well,
just-
you don't have a problem people dumping in it, like they do these.
No, but yeah, there's a dumpster between the alley, between me and the DMV.
Oh, yes, that's right there, another little opening.
I guess they should pay them.
They probably don't go down it, it's about PD.
Yeah, that's probably why.
You got cameras outside the PD, Will?
I got cameras everywhere. I got cameras on stools, I got cameras in the neighborhoods, I got cameras everywhere.
So you can monitor that dumpster then.
Yeah, that's the police. They can monitor things. But anyway, I'm gonna have to do some more work on that for y'all.
You are closed in, let people back out.
Yeah, well, in that Nash, see, you've got stuff about the dumpsters involved in this big quote for the upgrade. So you should have pulled that out, you know.
Well, it's just one camera, adding an additional camera down here. Because the whole system upgrade is 4845, and that includes putting a camera out here on this corner.
But it does not include CAC building.
No,
And
but
that's over.
they saying don't put one at the CAC because they said there's a camera back there already. What their suggestion was to move the dumpster from where it is down there by the camera,
Yeah,
is
they
what they're
told
saying.
me to move the dumpster down.
To where?
where it would come in view of,
One of the cameras that's behind the senior building.
Well, I'm thinking that camera is, as soon as you turn the building, it's right there on the corner facing the dump.
If you move the dumpster to the CAC building, it already has cameras. And he says internet will need to be at the location in order to view the cameras off site. They're talking about the one at the RV park, that dumpster.
Yeah.
He says, all you gotta do at the CAC building is to move the dumpster down there closer to the camera, is what he told
Isn't
me.
that camera pointing at the back of the CNC building now? And when you go around the corner, it's on that pole, it's right there. I think it's on the wall of the building,
I don't know.
pointing toward that dumpster.
Put in the camera in.
I'll go down and look at the building. I've looked at it.
Yes,
I have to.
that's what he's talking about.
well,
Because the dumpster's right there on the corner.
you just need to get it where the camera can pick it up.
And unless you put up like one of the deer cameras up there.
And what about the one at the RV park?
That's what he's saying. We'd have to have internet at the
At the
RV.
RV building?
Yes, in order to do that one up there.
Okay, we'll do some more work on that. Part of, we may go ahead and do the update Monday night. Go ahead and get that done. Let's see.
For the city hall.
Have it fall out, comes out of camera.
Yeah, we'll probably go ahead and do that. Since we don't have, since some of them are broken. Let's see. Next is, discuss a proposal from Johnson Control, fire system sprinkler repairs. This is a company, we're under contract with these people, right?
Yes.
They're on a 5-year contract with these people. So they come and check everything, and they found something, a problem when they came and checked our system at the CAC, and they had this $3,000 it's gonna cost.
$3,112.20. Y'all have that in your packets too. They did their annual inspection, and they found several things wrong.
Y'all
They charge you for the annual inspection down.
We have a contract with them
They
for
do,
five.
they charge you at the police department.
No, there was no charge for the inspection, but when they inspected, they found these things, and there's a charge for that. I got two different things, one's $0 and this one's $3,000.
We don't get it fixed, the fire marshal could shut it down. Insurance rates will go up, so that's a no-brainer there.
Okay, we've already discussed the city dumpsters. I'm gonna redo that, but I need to get you another quote. And then the chief has a couple of changes he wants to make.
Real quick, Mayor.
Yeah, go ahead.
Emily Wedgeworth, she's been a dispatcher for us for quite a while, but she's also has gone to multiple schools that I've sent her to and spent a lot of time, several months or over the period, probably 6 or 8 months, getting certified as a crime scene investigator. In case we have some type of tragic accident or something happened in Springfield, she's qualified to go and testify and collect evidence, properly process a crime scene, outside the scope of just their normal dispatcher's duties. So that certification, the reason why I'm asking for her to receive a pay raise, instead of where she's already at. I don't really want to promote her in rank, I just want to give her a step up in pay.
$14.
You know what she's at right now, Shelley? She's probably around 12, if I'm guessing.
They go up by 4% increments. So whatever the rate is, it'd be the next step up.
It's not
It's 12 something for a dispatcher.
well, she's been here for a while. They start out 11.55 and 90 days,
90
they
days
go a year. So it's 12 something. Well, I'm talking about more than.
Oh, before that would be.
Well, we'll need to look to see what she likes. I'll look at for you.
But it's not like you're talking
Yeah, okay.
a $5 an hour raise or anything. And, with Ladero Armstrong, he has agreed to go from full-time to part-time. He's been with the department for 3 years. But the law is pretty clear that within a year of being on patrol on the streets, you have to be either enrolled in an academy, or completed an academy. I sent him to the last academy, and he didn't quite make it. He got sent home. So I can't, liability reasons, I cannot allow him to stay on the streets to patrol. I can't move him to dispatch because there's not a role or position in dispatch open at this point in time. So it was either move to termination or go to part-time and use him as fill-in here and there, anywhere except on patrol. And then he can go back to the next academy and see if he can qualify, and maybe he can come back on the streets as a full-time officer.
All righty. Okay, I believe that finishes this up.
Thank y'all.
See you Monday.